Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Eli and you guys are watching Backroad Hobby. Today on this video we're going to be doing some much needed upgrades out here in the shop that will just simply make things a little bit cleaner, so to speak, at least tool wise, and be doing an exhaust system that will be helping just the air quality in the shop. Now I've already got one going, as you might be able to tell in the background, but I'll go ahead and go over that one, and I'll be installing a different type of exhaust system to help cycle air out of the shop during the summer whenever it's really hot out. So let me go ahead and show you. So as you can tell, it's still not 100% because we have dust all over the place and whatnot. But this is the system that I currently have going for whenever it's chilly out and I just want to have all the doors shut, well, kind of shut. And I'm planning on just working inside. It's set up above the wood stove for a reason. One, it's here because most of my equipment and the way I sand is it directs towards this area. Like the saw here, yeah, granted it goes straight to the freaking stove, and this busted off. I do have, it's down there, I haven't gotten to it. It does damper it down, so this protrudes out towards the wood stove. I know, flame hazard, I know, but it'll cycle up towards there. Whenever I'm sitting here at the workbench sanding, the exhaust of the sander goes out in that direction. I know, towards the wood stove. I know, but it filters up through here, and it will go ahead and filter the air. And as you can tell, it's been definitely doing its job here. I've actually found out that shot backing it here and there does help prolong it, but I don't entirely suggest it. Just replace it. And it's also set up here to push all the hot air coming off the wood stove up through the attic and back down here and cycle it through the shop. That way it's constantly cycling through. I'm not real sure if that makes any sense to you, but that's the idea behind it. This is set up, you'll find this set up in several different formats. Single like this, double filter, triple filter, and quadruple filter. If not, I think there's even a 5 filter set, a configuration that you can find, and you can set it up however you want. There's several different ways of doing it. And it's just simply a box fan that you can pick up from Walmart. So I think I spent $20 or $25 on this, and I think it was for 2 filters. I think it was another $10 or $12. So you can pick this up for less than $50. This entire setup, if you're planning on doing just a single filter. Now, what I plan on installing is this old squirrel cage fan. Now, we did do some finagling trying to figure it out. This is a 3-speed, and so right now I got it set up on a lower setting, which I'll have to configure it all whenever I get there. But it's going to be mounted, I believe I'm going to put it right in there, right in this little triangular, whatever you want to call it, space, and have it pushing out the wall. I don't want to put it here. I know I got more room there, but that is directly above the flue, and the flue is on the other side of that wall right there. So I don't want to put it right there, just because I know it's going to be I'll have it dumping down, but that's still going to land on top of this piece outside. I don't want that. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in this little spot here and get it framed up and everything, and go from there. Now I will also be doing some cleaning up over here, be making some kind of French cleat setup for all my clamps. I currently got some in use, but I need to get more. Yeah, you can never have too many clamps, trust me. I have way too few. But by doing the little French cleat setup and having it staged up and everything, it's going to allow me to have more room to be able to stage up all my clamps over here and be able to get more. Because right now I am pretty much max capacity just by hanging kind of close to it. So I'm wanting to get to where I can get more clamps, because in the future I plan on getting more. So at least that's the running plan for now. So let's go ahead and get this going and go ahead and just start getting things mounted up and boxed in and the whole works. So, you know what? I'm going to scrap this idea because it is not going to work out the way I originally thought it was going to work out. So, I had intended on building this frame and building the whole box and then mount it onto the wall. Well, because of the 2x6 rafter, I am not going to be able to put the box on and everything. I'll have to build it in place, which is going to be a little bit longer, and I just don't feel like dealing with it. I'd rather just go ahead and blow the motor out here and there and then just go with it. So, scrapping this plan, and I'm going to go ahead and build a deal for the exterior of the wall to go ahead and drop it down, to be able to dump it through dump it outside. I am going to go ahead and probably pull what I can off of this, utilize as much of this as possible, and then go from there. It's not because I'm getting lazy, it's just I have an obstruction that I really don't feel like fighting. And so, yeah, let's go ahead and take this thing back apart. So it is wired up, the outside is mounted. Let's go ahead and I already got it wired up too. This is all temporary. All the wiring is temporary. So I go ahead and got it plugged in over here. And it comes on. Now I do have a bit of a breeze here. I don't know if it's sucking it up or pushing it down. I can't really tell that. I don't have something to check it with, but let's go ahead and check it outside. And I can hear it. So, and I definitely got a whole lot of blowing out here. So I did go ahead and put a netting on there. Then you sure you can tell and saw. I think I did it in the video, but that's just help keep bugs and whatnot from going in there. But yeah, it's definitely pushing air out for sure. But it is nice to finally have that up and going. Even though it may be a little inefficient, I am glad that it is going, because that should help later this summer. This, like I said, this is just going to be temporary. Eventually that switch is going to be over there by the door, and I'll have it ran across over here and whatnot. That's because we plan on running electrical out here, solid electrical, the whole service and everything, sub panel, the whole works. And this thing's going to get completely rewired. So I'm going to call it for the day. I'll come back the next day at some point and go ahead and start working on the rest of the freaking organizing over here. The next day, now we are moving on to making up some racks for the clamps. We're going to be doing it a little bit differently. We're still doing the French cleats, but the way I'm going to be mounting the actual clamps themselves is going to be a little bit different than what I've seen in the past. Most of the ones I've seen, we just simply put them on like this, put them on like that. Well, I don't want them to be sticking out so far. Well, I shouldn't say it's sticking out. They're still going to be sticking out, but they're going to be backwards. So this side is going to be against the wall like that, instead of this way. I just don't want these French cleats to be sticking out that far. The depth of the clamp head itself, if that makes sense to you guys. So I want it to be like that instead of like that, and it being way out here. So I got an idea in my head. It will work for these and most of the ones of this design. I don't know what I'm going to do whenever it comes to the C-clamps I have. I haven't figured out what and how I'm going to do those yet, but that's here in a bit. So let's go ahead and jump to it. So this is not going to work. So let's try this. You know what? It might just simply be easier to run it on the bandsaw. Screw it. Let's do it on the bandsaw. they are officially up. Now I think I may have gotten these a little bit too close, especially on the little bit bigger ones have, maybe not. But I got them at 1.25 inch spacing, all center on center, 1.25 inch, which is more than enough for these ones. Kind of cutting it close on those, and later on I'll find out about these ones. But I should be all right. But as you can tell, these are preoccupied, so I'll have to wait on these clamps to get them hung up. Now, this gives me an excuse to get more clamps. So we'll see. Now it's just a matter of time and money to get more clamps. I'm gonna call it for the night. See if I might be able to come up with something for this other wall and something different just to clean this up some more, because it is a running mess. So I need something different. Some of this I can go ahead and get rid of and put back up and whatnot, but I'm getting there. This is what the whole video is about, is shop updates that can be done in a regular shop, in a small shop. Now we're gonna move on to the next day. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. So today's gonna actually be the first real test for the exhaust fan. And I've had it on for probably 5 minutes now. I think it's dropped a couple of degrees, but it hasn't changed much yet so far. But I also don't have the main door open either. Also, the clamp racks have not had much use yet, because I got cutting boards going out like crazy right now. So, well, getting prepped for a couple of craft shows, which, like I said, I'll try to keep tallies on that with the Facebook page at least, and go from there. So if you want to see it, you know, just keep an eye on the you can see our stuff anyways, or maybe buy something. Just keep track on the Facebook page, and I'll try to get the locations up there at least the week before, or try to get the week before, and or the location where we're going to be at, and go from there. I will get this stuff reorganized and touch on this on a different video, just not this video, because I have a whole lot going on and I'm just starting to get swamped at the moment, so I need to divert my focus elsewhere. If you want to, I'll have everything, all the socials linked down below: Facebook, Twitter, well, X, Instagram, and the TikTokies, since it's back. So they'll be all linked in the description below. So let's go ahead and jump onto the video verse. So this video verse is going to be in John chapter 6. We'll be doing verses 16 through 21. It says, "When evening came, his disciples went down to the sea, got into a boat, and started across the sea to Capernaum. Darkness had already set in, but Jesus had not yet come to them. A high wind arose, and the sea began to churn. After they had rowed about 3 or 4 miles, they saw Jesus walking on the sea. He was coming near the boat, and they were afraid. But he said to them, 'It is I, don't be afraid.' Then they were willing to take him on board, and at once the boat was at the shore where they were heading." And that was the 5th sign of walking on water. So that is John chapter 6, verses 16 through 21. Thanks for watching, y'all, and hope to see y'all in the next one.